But I would ask and offer that just kind of consider, having these conversations with us or amongst other Black folks, as opposed to in a room full of white supremacists or just white folks. Even if they're not a white supremacist, they could be a white supremacist suspect. And the reason why I'm saying that is the feedback that you're giving us from your Black experience is going to be accepted differently than it is, with us than it is against them, because we don't have the same agenda, right? They may think that they understand what you're saying on a surface level, but subconsciously, the implications that we make as Black people about and against other Black folks, it has different implications for them. And so that is just my offering, my love offering to you, is to just maybe even consider that. Just try it. Just try it sometimes, right? And see how you're treated by other Black folks. Um, and there's no way that you can see inside of the mind of a white person. Um, but I'm here to tell you that it just definitely takes on a different meaning when you are doing anything that could be perceived by a white person as disparaging Black folks, because that just really reinforces their idea of internalized racial supremacy. So thank you for allowing me to say that.
No, I appreciate it. And the reason
So
I want it, now I'm
you
gonna
got
go
to
ahead.
speak on it. You got to
Yeah,
speak on it.
I got to speak on it now, because I that's what I wanted. I didn't want to get in the front of it. I wanted everybody, and I'm glad she came back up and gave her a key. And one of the biggest things is that what they did and what they still don't understand is that I navigate in the dominant European environment. Okay, I have no qualms. When any of those people even heard me talking, I was speaking about things that I don't mind calling out about us, but I call out about them as well. Okay, so I don't go in just on us and don't go in on them. I'm equal. I don't. I mean, and I got friends who can back that up. I'm not this. I'm not one of this person that's I'm just gonna be hard on us and be soft on them. No, I am just as equally in their ass as well about their behavior. And then I also push back. You don't get to talk about our issues and everything when the dominant culture. See, when I speak this way, when the dominant culture is a contribution to why we are where we are. If you all had gotten out of the way and not bombed our people, not had stopped us from having economics and being able to manage our own economics, we wouldn't even be in the condition that we are in today. We are operating because of being weaponized by the dominant culture. So when I go into those environments, I go in there understanding how I'm navigating. Okay. So when
that's what I want to get at.
I know you know me, Joe. You know how
I want to get at specifics, because one thing I understand about us as a people, one thing I understand about my peoples is that we're very passionate peoples, and sometimes we hear one thing, boom, we run with it. So when people come and they say, okay, you in the room and you talking this, that, and that, well, what's the talk? What's the specifics of the actual wordplay that's been said that was problematic? Which, I mean, I guess they was in the room too. With the so-called white supremacists.
Yeah, white supremacists.
I want to know what it is that is the big problem. What's the words? Joe. Because most of the time that I know you in those spaces is that you will point out us, but you will point out them that put us there.
I always do that.
And you have no qualms about speaking to the dominant majority, because ultimately the book, I Ain't Your Black, America, is to who?
Them.
It's to the dominant majority. It's a great read for us, but it is to them to understand. Hey, that's what the sometimes you see me post the conversation picture, right, which is the African side versus the American side, and the conversation that still has yet to be had. So, from what I know and everything I've seen and understood, you're coming from that angle to help them understand some things within our community and how they contributed to some of those things. So I'm wondering if when people come and they're running you down for being in that room, they run you down for just being in that room because they heard, seen, saw, or found out that followers was just in that room?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
are they running you down because they actually sat, listened, heard conversation, and can now quote specifics as to what is problematically said?
And a couple of them took man, brother. It was like a
I mean,
one
because we
time, but
witnessed last night how somebody took something all wrong out of
yeah.
context and got all hot and bothered
Oh,
in
you
their
witnessing
menopause
yourself? Yeah.
self, in their menopause ways, got all hot and bothered, and just went off all on wrong specifics, and then the crowd could sit there and listen and now comment and say, yeah, she's not right. She
Right.
obviously is not paying attention to specifics as to what was really said or what really happened or what really went on.
Absolutely.
She just passionately went off and said, here's the problem. And that's dangerous. That's
Yeah.
how
That's
That
people get
wasn't what it
killed
was,
for
but
the
we
wrong
actually
thing.
had clips. There were actually clips. I wish I could find them that we were playing in that space. Where I don't want to misquote because it'd be real easy to take it out of context, or I don't want to say things that he didn't say. But there
right.
were clips. We weren't just
Yeah,
reacting
yeah,
off
no,
of
no,
him
they
being in
made,
the room.
and I was about to say that it was actually they pulled some clips out of me being in the room, but what they didn't have the whole scenario of why I was in the room, and I have to admit, I don't mind telling you, I was being intentionally going because when I first arrived, I don't like anyone telling me where I can and cannot go as a grown ass man. I mean, I'm like, go up here, you know. You don't get to tell me where I can't go. I determine. Let me go and determine for myself, okay? Because I've been burned by listening to other people tell me about something and this and that. And your experience with people may not be my experience with people. So allow me to navigate and do what I want to do. So I realized a couple of times I went into space. I was just in there clowning and having a good time, just kind of chilling for a little while until I got, oh man, this cultivating is what really set it off because I sat in a space in a racist. I mean, this place was. These guys was calling me all types of names. I mean, this and that. But she was sitting there, and people told me about cultivating, but she was sitting there under these people, allowing this to go down. I hear that she's darker than me, okay? And she, when I said it, and I remember when I got off and I came back to her and I asked, I said, did you hear what how they said to me? I said, did you see how I handled myself? Oh, yeah, I saw how you. I said, but why didn't you say anything? I said, they used the N word. They said, you not one time said anything. And I was, well, brother, you know, they have the freedom. You know how she talked. They have the freedom. It's their spaces. And I don't. That's where I realized that some of the things that people have been saying about cultivating, are like, all right. And when she knew that I peeped her, that's when she tried to throw me in. That's where she took a context out of my book. This is what kind of set everything off.
Okay.
She took a context out of my book and dropped it on the stage with 207 people there
But
about
that
me and my sister, and that
but
was
I mean,
wrong.
is that kind of, in a little bit besides the point, because ultimately, right here, right now, what people are specifically saying, and I would love to hear those clips,
Yeah, I'd like to
because
hear him again too because I didn't get to hear him.
I could probably hit, knowing you well enough, I could probably hear the clips. Carl could probably hear the clips. He's been around long enough,
Yeah.
and see what angle you were coming from, where the context
Yeah.
was before that, stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
I wish somebody
again,
could find the clips.
it is absolutely your prerogative for sure, where you want to roll. But again, context is everything.
Context is everything. Go ahead, Negro.
Hey, what's up? Good afternoon to everybody. What is right for us? I still think we still figuring that out as a community. Some of us don't know how to talk to each other, don't know how to communicate with each other effectively. And one thing I've noticed is when white people come in the room, old people be changing like flapjacks. So that's just my perspective. They don't. I feel like as a collective, we don't have the spirit of running down people who be aggrieving us the most. but we'll out here attack each other and think everything's cool. I really that really gets on my nerves. You know, that's just a personal pet peeve of mine because like we're showing the world how we treat each other personally.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's
Right.
the reason why it annoys me the most because it's like, yo, y'all don't even do this to this white person. This white person really don't f with us, right? Like he
Right.
really don't like us. And y'all ain't running down
You ain't
Chad
running
and
them
Brad
down,
and
but you'll run us down. Right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
hear what you say.
and sometimes it's over a misunderstanding. Sometimes it's over something you might not like what a person's said, and sometimes it's
Right.
even taken really out of context. So so those are some of the things I observe, especially on X. You know, like
What
everybody.
about the second half of that, man? Do blacks on X need to upscale? What's your take? How
What do
long you
you
been on
mean?
this? How long you been in these spaces, man?
Okay, I've been on this Xbox thing since 2011. So
Oh
I was
wow.
here before we were talking about reparations. I was here when Dr. Darity's report was dropped. And the wealth gap. I was here to see all that and the
You was here
reaction.
with
But
this guy named Mason. What's with Majors? Majors. I've been hearing his name a lot.
yeah, yeah.
He went. I hear this guy went to jail. He's
Well,
about to come out. I don't have this.
they say he about to come home. I don't want to talk about home. I don't want to talk about the glow stick dude.
Yeah, I just was curious. We ain't
Hey,
talking about nothing.
I
I
listen.
just heard some.
I
I
might
just
not
heard
like him.
some.
Yeah, I might not like him personally or whatever, but I ain't gonna wish nobody jail
No, no
time.
problem. Yeah, yeah,
White
yeah.
supremacists need jail time. That's where I'm kind of at.
Yeah.
I think
White
some people
people.
who are not fit for society need to be in jail and stay in there. So I have no problem with him being in there on the record for
Oh,
him to
so
stay.
you know
Oh,
something, line? Okay, you know.
I don't know. I don't
I
know
know
the.
a lot about them too.
Wait. Okay, for the record, I don't know the inner workings of that
Yeah,
man's
I
business.
just been hearing
I
his
personally,
name. A
I
couple of
personally
people
block.
came at me, said some things, and added his name with re up. They were telling me to watch myself. I mean, I just had some people.
Well,
You know,
I block.
What did he? Is
I
he the
block
guy that they
him.
send to show up at people's door?
No, no,
oh,
no.
No,
I
no, that's
block.
not the guy. No, that's not the guy. That's the guy that gets paid from the government to sow dissensions, COINTELPRO, and to scam black people. That's why he in jail right
what? Oh,
Yeah,
now. Oh,
yeah.
and
That's half
kidnap
the
women,
reason.
kidnap women and put them in trunks and pretend like he's law enforcement. This is
what?
all
Yeah,
on record. This is all
yeah.
true. I can be liable and slander, and it's not. It's true.
Okay,
Yeah, that's half
okay.
the reason why I blocked him personally because these ain't some of the things I
I
don't
see.
agree
I
with.
see. I see some down fingers and everything. So
Hey,
there's some people.
maybe he got a fan club.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
He got a
that's what.
fan club now.
Yeah, that's all right. I ain't mad about it. I ain't mad
so
about it. But my
so
problem is I had people, since I'm new at this thing, man. I had people, and I got some professional friends that care about my brand and everything. They were all coming around me. Initially, my people told me to get off this space. I think y'all might even heard me. My wife didn't even want me on this space and everything. She thought it was beneath me and everything. But I told her, baby, I need to be here because I think it's good and everything. But then my people got with me and they thought, man, listen, dude, you got a new book about to come out, dude. You need to watch yourself. But then they came back. My people crazy. They came back. My publicist came back. Nah, me, Sean, stay there. Go ahead, man. You need to let some of that stuff in your book come out and let it go, bro. And right after that, cultivating did what you did, which now I don't think cultivating. I said, you know what? Thank you, cultivating. You know what? You've been a blessing to me and everything because my sales went up. A lot of people talking about it, and I done did 3-4 interviews on X already with people, and I'm willing to do. Linus, I want to do one with you. I think I want you to. You want
All,
only after
all
you
news
listen.
is good news.
That's right. Yeah, only after you read my book, though.
Sir, if you, yeah, I'll read your book, but if you want me to do any interviews or business with you, you have to go through my brother's Conscious Outlaw. I am God. I am, as well as my brother
Oh,
Immortal.
I am God. Okay, I got to go through.
And Immortal
I
yeah,
am
Q
God. If
Q.
one of the people ran me down, I don't know. He still want to talk to me. I don't know. I'll let you work that out. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
so
Whatever that
yeah,
need to be.
I do want to finish up. Do we
Go
need to
ahead. Yeah, yeah. Go
update?
ahead, Land. Let a couple of people get in it. Go ahead.
I think that we need to change the approach of how we talk to each other
Yeah.
and our issues and
Right.
concerns. Homie, like, what's your turn, man? Like, you ain't no woman. Shit. Like, so, that's first thing. Second of all is, when we in integrated spaces, we need to have like topics that are appropriate, right? I would
Right.
say culturally appropriate or culturally sound when we interacting with other demographics. Not all conversation topics is not meant for other people to be at the table. Like y'all is it's self-explanatory. Like you're not gonna be out here having certain conversation with the dominant society because say real black American or real Negro conversation. That's just common sense, and it shouldn't need any explanation. That's just one of the things that I observed. The other thing is that not allowing other demographics to attack our community,
Right.
being more offensive when it comes to certain demographics that are speaking on our plight, speaking on our history, because
Be
people has gotten to the point where they feel comfortable and
right.
actually feel safe to just talk
Right.
about anything about black folks. And I see it more on TikTok because I'll be on there too. And me personally, I'm tired of seeing that. If you're like, I don't speak on Native American history like that because I'm not a Native American. It doesn't matter what I know. I'm not them.
Would
Same
you
way I don't really
agree? Would
speak
you
on.
agree that our
Hey, hey,
behavior?
hold on. Let him land real quick because I want to
Yeah, yeah,
go
it's
ahead.
the
Let him
same
land.
thing with other like the small hat community. I might talk about their interactions with me and how
Right.
they might make me feel, but I'm not gonna go up and down and talk about their history as if I'm one of them. I'm not gonna do that. I just that's what I hope we upscale ourselves to be. We know how to protect and preserve our interests, but at the same time, I'm not saying denounce other people, but that ain't our business.
Right.
We need to be up in the perspective of staying out of other people's business and minding our business, minding our black owned business. Ain't that what we be saying on these Twitter streets sometimes? I really think that we need to implement that a little bit more. So those are just some of the things I observe, and I hope that we upscale ourselves in that manner.
Well said.
So,
But I just wanted
hey,
to.
but
Yeah.
here's the thing: when he says that, right?
Mhm.
Remember what was that group? Who was that? Was that a re-up space you invited me to one time?
Yeah. Yes.
So in that re-up space, there was who was that? A white dude or
Yeah. It was
Mexican, whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
He
I
was
think it was Brian. I can't think of who it was,
wasn't
but
he
yeah.
wasn't he saying nigga and
Yeah.
whatnot?
Yeah. 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 He was saying it. I know you was.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
the
I know.
and I was sitting there, and so I mean, I remember being in the bathroom at U of L Stadium here in Louisville, and you know, three kids, three YNs, and one of them was a white boy, and they
Excuse
just
me,
talking back and
sir.
forth using
Point of clarification. What's a YN?
She wanted a
oh
young
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 nigga.
N
nigga,
word, young N word.
yeah,
Young
Okay,
young
yeah, I
nigga.
don't
N
use
word,
that term.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to make
yeah.
sure. I thought,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I don't like
So
using that word. Yeah. Yeah. That's a word I learned
yeah,
from here. I
so
said it.
so 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 a young YN, so three YNs, and one of them is a European male, and they just talking
Oh.
normal using the N word.
Why
Like,
is he not a
of course,
YW? How come the white boy ain't a YW?
Yeah.
Yeah, why is he not a YW?
That's a term you draw. Hey, listen. No, don't. Now, me and my man is new here. We are now. Hey, y'all
yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
I
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
YW.
I didn't mean to call the white boy
Young
YN,
nigga.
but
No,
don't,
no,
it,
no.
don't get
I'm
on
saying
us
no, no, no.
about
it
I'm
was,
y'all.
saying
it was,
young. Wait, wait,
it
wait,
was,
These
wait,
are
wait, wait. What I mean
languages
by
that y'all teaching us now. Don't go
no,
to
no. What I
that.
Man,
mean by
this
YW
station
is young wigger,
wow.
because we used to call white boys who try to pretend that they black
you're right,
Right,
wiggers.
you're
That's
right,
what.
right.
absolutely.
See,
Yeah.
I'm one of those type of dudes. You ain't gonna
Yeah.
call my people a YN, but I would use a YW against a WS if you get what
Hey,
I
but
mean.
listen up. Now, let me qualify. Make sure I set the tone and the
But
stage here. Make you understand something. The use of the terminology and everything that YN. I don't use it. Okay, but it's been used. I don't heard YN used more than I heard anything about what you talking about the white and everything. So
Hmm.
let's keep it 100. I don't heard the word NIGGER splattered all over this place when I first arrived here and everything. So I heard somebody, oh, this space is crazy. Now, let me explain something. This space is safe and tame compared to spaces I've been to.
Damn
All right.
right.
Let's
Damn
keep that.
right.
Let's
and
keep
and
this. Keep it 100 here. All right, because I've been at some spaces that is just jacked up all over the place,
and
and I've
but
seen with people of other cultures. And that's what I couldn't understand. I come from the professional environment. we used to call them internationals, okay? And they came around in the operating room, come in, and they used to come in the break area and they try to talk. I was like, oh, buddy, oh, hold up, buddy. You ain't one of us. You better slow your roll here, Slick. Yeah, yeah. Well, not no. No, you don't know. And then I caught one of them one time when they was talking around. They was in the room with everybody was in there with white, and now they sitting up there under them, and they gonna be. I heard the what? Well, I love hanging around with the blacks because I get to talk and act and be like them. And I walked in. Let me explain you something, dude. I mean, you up here cheesing up with them and everything. I don't put up that nonsense. Now that I know that you do, so you come over here and smooth with them and everything, roll with them, then you come in and smile on our face like it.
Yeah, they call it
That's where
slumming it. They call it
that's where
slumming it.
I got upset when I arrived here. So my pushback when people was telling me I needed to be black, what I was really pushing back on is that I ain't trying to be y'all black. That's what I was trying to push back on. Y'all didn't really understand my pushback. I was pushing back and say I'd rather call my something else than to come in this space and sign off on the nonsense that I was hearing here. That was my biggest.
But that's your book though.
That's right. No, I
I
know.
ain't your typical. You
That
believe what you gonna try to box me
that
in that
there
you
you
see on the
go.
news that you think it's okay
I'm
to
not
be
your black.
a wiggle white boy, whatever you want to call it, and then you cool with us. So now you gonna use the N word. I'm not that typical dude right there that's
Right.
gonna allow that, be that, showcase that, and all of that. America.
That's what people was. So if
You
anybody want
keep
to
it
know why
simple,
he was
man.
having hard times with me, I was walking in here saying I am not that black. I ain't putting up with that, and that's why I was pushing back. But not a lot of people didn't feel it like that.
You said,
Hmm.
hold on, you followers. You saying it like that now, but I believe in the clips, and you were saying I'm not black. Okay, so you clarifying it now, and that's cool, and I understand in the context of you
And
writing
I
the
was
book,
saying it
but
because I didn't agree with the
You got
behavior that
that
I
clip
was seeing
though.
here.
I
You
do
got
got
But
to
you,
that clip.
even with the way you're saying it right now, it could be perceived indifferent because
right,
even when you just said it, I'm not that black. What you're saying is I'm not that type of stereotypical black that you believe in. But someone else can hear it, and then they
right.
go
I
run
know
off on
exactly. Right,
a 60-minute menopause run,
right,
and then they say, "Oh, I heard him. He said I'm not
right,
that black."
right. I know.
Meaning he ain't that black. He ain't that black of a dude. You know what I
You're
mean?
right.
Like that's
No, no,
so
I know. I'm with it. And
clarity
actually,
is everything.
but it's the
Perspective is
whole negative
everything.
concept. It's the
I'm
whole
glad to hear
negative
conscious. Go ahead,
I,
Con.
I, I, I want to
It, but
say
no, no,
something,
no,
man,
no,
because
no,
everybody talking over each other.
pushback. Hold on. The pushback is the whole negative connotation as the term goes black. That's me
Right,
personally. Well, I don't want to. I don't anything black is not going to be attached negative to me at all. I don't care how anybody else looks at it and say, "Oh, we be on some stereotypical stuff when they watch Love and Hip Hop." You're not going
You're
to
not
attach
black.
anything negative to my blackness. So that's where I am with.
right. Got you.
You're not black. You indigenous. First of all, you
Okay,
indigenous.
Sagram, you need to
You're
raise your
not
hand.
black.
Sagram, raise your
I didn't
hand.
know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Just raise your hand, brother. We try. My two co-hosts, they holding it down and everything. Um, uh,
Okay.
yeah. I think anybody else want to say? I guess you might as well go ahead and say your piece, bro. Go ahead.
Oh man, I didn't know. I just joined this channel. I paid channels I joined. Um, but you're not black. Black is I guess a color that they named you. You're indigenous to this country, man. You're indigenous unless you got proof that you. Some of us were brought here from Africa on the triangular slave trade. Well, a lot of us are already here. We original people, man. Ain't black people. White folks gave you these names. And y'all running with it. It's the ignorance of people. I be hearing people speak. I'm Haitian, by the way. Y'all come over calling y'all black because they gave y'all a name.
Talk about say.
They got Wale, brother. They gave y'all a name and y'all running with it. What y'all need to do, like Haitians do, unify. I got situations going on where we don't unify. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go back to the new follower. I like this platform. Just get off that for a second. I, you did the right thing when you joined Twitter, formerly known as X, because you can say anything you want to say and not be banned or censored for saying something, speaking your mind. First Amendment. You did a good job when you came here. But going back to the black thing, no man, you're not black, bro. You're not. You ever seen the color black? You're not black.
Hey,
You're
so
indigenous. You're an
hey,
indigenous. You're an indigenous. You're a Seminole. You're Cherokee. You're whatever. You need to
I'm a
learn
Freeman,
who you are.
brother. I'm a
Man,
Freeman, man.
you are a living man. Just like that lady down there is a living woman. And the reason you pay taxes, the reason you can't get out of slavery, the reason you in the matrix, because they got you believing that you're Afro American. Have you ever been to Africa before? No. You're African American? No, you can't get no benefits. You can't get no reparations because you up here believing I'm black. That's what they told me. In school, they teach you how to follow instead of how to think. They don't teach you how to think in school. They teach you how to follow. And y'all been followers ever since some of y'all have. Some of y'all hadn't. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go, man. Y'all can
Hey,
comment on what y'all want to.
so I
Wait,
just
wait, 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 wait,
hold
wait,
up.
Hey,
wait, wait.
Ain't
Let
no
Let
me
me,
wait,
let
ain't
hold,
me,
no
let
hold
me,
no,
up,
ain't no
let me
wait,
Negro.
say,
ain't no wait.
Hold up,
we
Negro.
we have
Hold
that
up.
conversation all the time,
Huh?
We have that
Yeah,
conversation
I
all
know
the
we had
time,
that yeah, we had it. And I want to talk to I inbox you, brother. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
I just inbox you and my
Yes,
title of
sir.
my book. I'm not Joe Black,
That's right.
America. So you read my book and you'll see that you and I got more in common what we're talking about, okay? All right.
Yes,
So
sir. I
but
appreciate you. Thank you.
I definitely want to highlight real quick before we get to the hand. No Negroes coming up, but I want to highlight something that he said. He said, do like the Haitians do. Do like every other culture that comes here outside. One of my part, you remember John, yeah, on
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
Tipping
yeah,
Point
yeah.
show. So one thing he would say is that the difference is that we here in America keep trying to get these white folks to like us, as
Right.
Hmm.
opposed to what other cultures do. They understand this is simply an economy. They
Hmm.
There
come
you go.
here and they're focused on making money and creating an economy among their own here and helping their people back home just the same. They're not
To
coming here
assimilate.
caring about who helping and assimilate and getting program. Nah, they are coming here to make some economics work for them and their community.
Absolutely. Ran into Lebanese people the same way, man. When you talk to these Lebanon men, they are the same way,
Go try to do real business with the Chinamen outside of just the convenience store or patronizing whatever business that they have from a retail standpoint. Go try to do some real business with them. Hey, can we open up some stores together? I
Oh
got the money.
no,
They don't care. They won't do that.
they won't do it. They
They
lock.
won't do it.
They gate kept. You try to get where you get your products from. They ain't gonna tell
That
you.
I
they
can
talk
go to
about
They gonna
20.
tell
I
you.
can go to 26 and Broadway, stand there and watch every brother go in there. Hey, what's up, Habib? Slapping hands, this, that, and the other. This dude don't care. He don't even hire y'all brothers. He hires sisters at the most,
Yeah, yeah, that's and I
and they
know,
not right.
and that's not even right. What they hire, and I keep it 100. They don't even hire some of our best sisters. They hire some of the sisters that some brothers wouldn't even
That they
mess
can
with.
control.
Yeah, that they can control. Yeah, I've actually seen that. Go ahead, Negro.
see, my issue is when we have other people that's in the diaspora that wants to tell us how we should think or feel about our culture and our history. And this is the reason why you have the diaspora wars. This is why we have delineation, right? You got people from Haiti who are considered a quote unquote one of the first black republics that don't want to identify as black. They go off and say, me not black. All right.
Come
So
on, yeah.
hey, man, I didn't interrupt. And I'm really talking about from this Haitian dude. Like, our people don't flee, right? So our perspective and our history is coming from a demographic of people who never left this country that we built, not by choice, but by force. So when I hear some other demographic and we need to be like them, no, you following us. You following us. That's the only reason why you here in the first place. So don't act like y'all the trendsetter when it comes to blackness. Don't act like you're the trendsetter when it comes to the diaspora. Black American people run that yard. We run that yard.
I
Negro
can
run that.
definitely say that they here for economics.
Right. He
Wait,
right.
wait, wait.
He right.
I don't care what they here for. The thing is that they never contribute anything to this nation, but they feel like they have an input to speak about what Black American people can be doing, what we can be celebrating. And these are the same people that downplay our history, right? They feel like they could speak on our history because they think that they have the same color as us, the same
Right.
melanin presenting. And I'm not cool with that personally. No, stay in your lane, talk from an immigrant perspective, and be what the immigrants do, right? You cool with the white tea clear immigrants. Y'all cool with the yellow ones. Don't act like y'all switching up now. I'm ready to call ice on y'all any given moment. Any given moment. Because I don't really like none of y'all like that. I don't care what color
Hey,
y'all come
hold
from.
up,
Because
hold up, hold up. Whoa. You going too far, brother. I never said I
no,
like you
no.
first. No, hold on. Stay right
Dude,
there.
I'm in my country.
Stay right
I'm
there.
in my country.
I'm
See,
in my country too.
I'm in
But I'm
my
gonna tell you
country. I'm
something.
not in Haiti.
I'm not gonna
I'm
argue
not
with
in
you out
Haiti,
here,
homie.
man.
Let's
I ain't
one
No,
at
never
a
I'm
said I
not
didn't
time.
in
like
One
Haiti.
at
you.
a
I ain't
time.
never said I didn't like you because you throwing insults, right? I ain't never insulted you
I
not one
didn't
time.
throw no
One time the truth
insult.
hurt.
I didn't
I
cuss you
just
out. I'm highlighting the
no.
behavior that I
You don't
don't
have to
like, and
curse.
I have a right to,
You don't have to
right?
curse and have an insult. I didn't
I
insult you
don't,
not one time.
no, bro.
Come
Quit
on, man.
being in your feelings. Man up and stay in your country. Man up
What?
and stay in your country. Yeah, on that type of time.
Man, I would like to talk to you face to face, man. I like to talk to
Oh,
you.
I'm doing you face to face, man. No,
Okay. We good on
Yo,
that.
yo.
Wait a minute.
Come on, man.
Hold up. Mute up. I do understand what Negro is saying. If you want to talk about Haitian business, talk about Haitian business. Don't conflate Haitian with freedmen that are in America. So I do understand what Negro is saying. He already said earlier he would not talk about small hat people. He would not talk about Native American people. He would talk about his own people and his interaction with other demographics. But a lot of these other people who comes over here, they always want to insert themselves into our business. So I do understand what Negro is saying on that, and I land there.
But
And I
it's part of that. It's part of that. The reason, because when it all boils down to it, they're getting looked at and treated the same way as every other melanated person in America.
no, that's not true. I got to push back on that. No, it's not true.
Oh my
Still,
God.
black America. If that was the case, they'll be a part of the what do they call it? The mass incarceration rate. It's still held by Negro Black American people still to this day. We need to understand that there
I would push back on that also. Remember
um
what Muhammad
we
Ali said. Remember
the
what
blue
Muhammad
black
Ali
the blue
said back
black
in the day. So yeah, I'll push back on that.
yeah. So we don't understand why these immigrant groups are here underneath the representation of black, and they're misrepresenting us. They out here downplaying our plight. Me personally, I don't care if they came from an island, and I don't care if they came from the coast of Africa. I want you that out of my nation because I don't go to your beat up nation respectfully. I don't care to visit there because of how they treat
Wow.
women, how they treat. Oh man, mute up! I didn't interrupt you. I don't need the sound effects. I don't need the crybaby nonsense. And y'all bring y'all criminality. Y'all bring y'all drugs. Y'all bring and also y'all human traffic our women. There's over 300,000 black women that's unaccounted for. Half of them is because they're hanging around with idiots like y'all. Now I'm being provocative. Now.
Now you're being
And I
provocative,
mean
and you also
personally,
have a very
so
small
all
mind.
right, all
You have
right.
a
for
very
me
small
personally,
mind,
I'm
man. Very
Oh,
tired
small
of
mind.
That's
Very
the
small
emotional
mind.
side that I'm talking about that we need to learn to
yeah,
control.
yeah. So
Exactly. It's very small mind individual, man.
so Negro, I know understand your passion, man, but
no, I'm just tired of him being off mute. If people tell him to get on mute and wait your turn, he can't even do that. And this is what the immigrants do. They
yeah.
skip the line and don't wait and mess over the back of the line of Negroes and Black American folks. And we sit there and tolerate that. This is what I
So,
mean.
so you making it just make this be very clear, okay? Because I'm very, very sensitive when it comes to generalization. When there's only one or two or three people,
Exactly.
you're making a generalization, and it's not meant to be an attack on anyone who's here. You're just making it a generalization of what you feel and how you think. Okay, we don't have
No,
to
it's not
attack.
about what I think or how I feel. I'm looking at the criminality.
I
I'm looking at
understand.
like the
I
dope,
understand.
and I'm
I,
looking at the missing thing, and I'm drawing a correlation based off of these groups being introduced into my community.
but
I have a right to make that
unless you
assessment here on this American soil. I'm
yeah,
not
but
going over to his nation like the Kenyan people out there enforcing laws, right? I'm not doing all that. So
gotcha.
the nerve of him to even speak about our people, that's out of pocket to me.
Yeah,
Out of
But
pocket.
I mean, I didn't hear him speak in a manner personally at which that I thought was threatening. I always tell my
Wait,
kids,
I'm gonna
listen,
tell you
I always
I'm
tell my
telling you,
kids that the fact that I'm even speaking on issues that concern you it's because I care. You know what I mean? Now, if I didn't care, I wouldn't say nothing. So, for my mans to really speak up in that manner, is it possible that maybe he cares? Because I don't know this gentleman, but maybe he has an American black woman. So now maybe he has kids that are now of this nation. I don't know, but maybe he's speaking from a standpoint at which he cares enough to say something.
Nah, not necessarily. When they attack aspects of our history and stuff like that, like he first came in the room, he started downplaying black, right? He's not qualified to speak
Wrong.
on
What
at
he
all.
was,
No,
let me,
not at
no,
all.
hold up,
Not at
Because
all. He's totally
his
wrong.
people
He's out of
here in
line.
his people in the United States have not gone through the plight of what our people been through. That's what
uh,
gatekeeping the culture is about. That's what's protecting the culture integrity of your people. And it might not be a
Well,
popular.
remind me of the downplay because I don't remember that.
no,
He
Yeah,
said
I don't, I don't remember what
something
it is.
because it went right over
Negro,
your ears, brother. It went right over your
Oh
ears
my
respectfully.
God.
Negro, let me jump in there, all right? Because he was talking to me when he first came in and talking about it or everything. And what he specifically was talking about is the construct, which that's why I inboxed him my book. Okay. He was talking about the construct, the color
The color
construct
construct.
that I wrote in my book is that who named us black? Okay, where the concept came
Man,
from. Why did they put that? Why is that something that's what he was speaking to?
He just
Okay.
speak about it from a Haitian perspective
And he was
because
given he would and
He
he
is from
was
Haiti.
speaking from it from a Haitian
No, he was
perspective.
not. He was
Yeah,
talking about it from a black
yes.
American
Actually,
perspective.
he was. So he was basically.
I didn't hear him say that. He did not
I'm
talk
gonna
about
get
the
off this
Haitian
thing, man.
Republic.
I
He didn't
appreciate
talk
you,
about the Haitian Constitution
co-host.
on the
I'm gonna
stage.
talk to
He
you
did not.
little later, man. I
He
got
did not.
peace too, and I'm gonna be the bigger man and mature man to get off and let him argue with himself, man. I appreciate y'all having me
Well, hey
co-host.
man,
Y'all bless
you
Don't
me.
make
worry, I'll
sure you
call
get
ice on you
you make
soon.
sure
Have a
you
nice
get a
day.
copy of my book and
I
come
sure
on back
will,
here.
man.
You
I'm gonna
get.
follow you too, by the way. I appreciate
Hey,
you, brother.
yeah, I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Peace be unto you, bro. Salam
You
alaikum.
too. All right.
Yeah, he could be the bigger man and go back home and take care of his nation. That's what he needed to do.
All right, Negro. Yeah, you gonna be you. Hey,
I
listen
mean,
up.
how is that working out for you?
Yeah, how's that working out for you, bro? Hey, brother, one of my biggest things is, and I'm a very component. I can be all the man that I can be, and I know how to stand my own, but I also know how to be an alpha and allow other people to be who they are. I can know how when someone crossed the line and everything, still be able to have some communicative stance. That's one of the things that I've recognized this inability to be able to have a code. It's like Trump. I'm gonna use Trump as
I
an
just seen
example.
somebody get triggered. That's what I
Yeah,
saw.
yeah. It's the same thing. People jump on. People get triggered by Trump. And I was just telling someone, and that's kind of like what I told the woman today. And you say, listen, you're getting triggered by the way that I articulate. You're getting triggered by the way I lay my conversation out there. You're getting triggered by the way that I don't curse at you. I don't use the N word. I don't do any of that. I just speak my truth and say what I say. But you getting triggered by it. Okay. That ain't my problem if you getting triggered by it. Okay. That's your problem. Okay. And sometimes we gotta not allow ourselves to get so triggered by what we hear. I'm always concerned. If you don't put your hand on me, you don't say nothing about my family, you don't say anything crazy, go ahead. We can have a conversation. We can have a dialogue and everything. But I don't have to, I don't have to dig in and mistreat and call people out their name and everything unless they do it towards me, then they may get a little something, something back to me. But I'm willing to have those conversations with people. Matter of fact, I love having multiple people at the table and everything. My best education, my best exposure is when I have multiple other people at the table. Okay, I don't like just staying in one nerve. I mean, it's like mutual fund. How do you get a return when you have multiple funds in the account? So I love having multiple people at the table and everything. I think that we got to learn how to communicate with multiple people. When I would say, do blacks on X need to upscale ourselves? My immediate, I would say, and I want to want everybody, the immediate that I would say, we need to upscale how we relate with one another, and even we got to upscale to how we communicate with other people. I'm going to say that big time because I see that's a problem on X Space. You know, a lot of people get in the emotions, everybody getting it. It's cool to have a principle and stand on your point, but you don't have to dog somebody else's down just because there's difference in yours. Go ahead, Negro.
First, we need to have to take care of our people first. We need to take care of our community first. How we interact
Yeah,
internally
yeah,
first.
right.
Before we,
I absolutely
before we
agree. I
can
believe
even
that we need to
try to
work
talk,
on
yeah,
right.
before we can relate and talk to anybody outside. Like I look
But
at that dude, the outsider, right? I know he might have been a
but
guest, but when he talks about blackness, when the same groups of people who come to this United States and say me not black, I downplay black American in a play, and you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for black folks. Is the problem. And if you
yeah, but
can't see
you
that, this is the problem with our people. It
yeah.
needs to be a consistency when it comes to them interacting with us. That there is a common understanding that you're not going to. We created blackness. We created black consciousness because of the condition and the things that we have been through, while the other groups of people rejected it just in
Everybody's
general
swinging off of
But
us.
but but what
because
but
they were
what but what what
anti-American.
but
They
what
were
my man
anti-American. This is the reason why they use cake soap, brother. They use cake soap. So I'm bringing up context that are culturally that I'm not going to, even if we might not use black, right, like that or whatever, it's not them to qualify or to quantify that. They need to think about it from their nationalistic perspective only. They're not
Absolutely.
American. They're a hyphen immigrant and stay in a hyphen immigrant lane. That's what I'm talking about, holding the line.
Yeah,
And see, this is
I'm
this is why we got
absolutely.
Pan-Africanism. This is why Pan-Africanism is scooped up. This is why reparations is
Yeah,
goofed up,
yeah,
where
yeah.
people feel
is
like they can
is
speak
Haitian
for
on the
themselves.
census?
Hmm?
Is Haitian on the census?
No, no. What do you mean on the census? What do you mean by that? Explain.
I mean, I'm just saying, like the census or anywhere where you got to put white, black, yellow, or blue, whatever you are.
Okay,
Is
okay.
Haitian there?
Great question. So on the
They hit
application,
they click black, right?
wait. That's what the point
What?
that I want to talk about. Wait, let me really talk because I talk about this in
Hey, we
delineationology.
got another hand up, so make sure
I'll be
you.
real brief. I will be real brief. The thing is with them is that what I consider they do melanin misrepresentation. Instead of them clicking other and identifying who they are, they click on black with the sole purpose to get unearned benefits, like a Barack Obama, like Kamala Harris. They will consider them black when they're not. That's the point that I'm getting at. You might not like the
No, no, that's
positionality,
a no, no,
but
that's a
I'm
valid
protecting the
point there.
culture. I'm protecting the culture, bro.
No, no, that's a valid point. But let's see where they got that from, though. Okay, we, you know, they. I mean, I talked to some people before I go to the hand here. I want to let you understand that they got that from. That's a behavior they got from somebody else. They got that from the Jewish community. Okay, the Jewish community. There is no Jewish spot. Okay, other Poland's. Okay, people who come from other countries who can pass that. The only spot you see is white, black, and Spanish and everything. So other people have came here and learned how to do the same thing. That's what my book is all about. It's our responsibility. We just now starting to wake up to it. Y'all need to own up to this, okay? Culturally, we need to own up to the fact we're just now really starting to own up to it. We have been played probably the most because of the color construct. So I can't be too angry at another person coming from another country and have learned how to navigate and get it. It is our responsibility. We needed to check them a long time ago. Well, it's not too late, but we got to understand it. We are needing to check them now, but you got to understand we
They get
wasn't
rid of
checking nobody. Nobody
here
was
right now.
being checked, right? Nobody was being checked
But I
before.
mean, did they come and learn that? Or I mean, in Haiti, you know, they was getting called the N word by them
Right, right.
French
That's what I'm saying.
soldiers
But
just the
when they
same.
came to America, when all these people came to America, that culture, color construct was here. But here's the deal here in America. When you in America, black means something different when you are in another country, okay? When you in America, white means something else other when you're in America, okay? So we had people come to America who saw themselves black that they was experiencing in their country. When they came over here, black became a benefit. I mean, they're like, oh shit, I'm black. I'm gonna roll with this shit. I'm gonna roll
It's
with
the
this.
system.
Yeah, it was that. I'm gonna roll it with this black, okay? Because this black,
It's the system.
yeah, the system was giving them, and it was we initially we are loving people, and we didn't know we didn't know we didn't understand. We embraced everybody. We're like, come on, yeah, bro, you black, but what did
But
they?
every
I
other
heard
culture comes here and peeps who's making the money. They
right,
peep the dominant society and they say, you know what? Let's follow in them.
right.
Business is where they at in dominance. And so they
That's
say, let's get business. So statistically, within 7 years, people come
right,
to America and they're business owners.
right. So
400 plus years for us. Where we at?
and you got to we have to own up to it. We got to own up to something now. Culturally,
Black grants alone. So I hear you. I hear you.
culturally, we embrace. Come on now, our older don't.
They forced
No. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did initially.
Yeah,
Initially,
because all we did was look at the color of our skin and say, well, you
that's
got
right.
some
Come on now,
melanation,
don't
so
lie.
you
Don't
got some
lie.
melanation too.
You got
So you
melanation.
with
We
us.
embraced it. We embraced it.
And that's why when the Latino community is in the fix they in now, they like, come on, black people, help us.
So we get to the hand. I just like us to have a full
Yeah.
discussion, okay?
And I even want if melanated rich convo can come up and elaborate on their comment that they put as well. That would be great too. So who's first? I think was it one
Immortal. It was Immortal.
Immortal first, and then one.
What's up, Immortal? Welcome to the show, man.
What's up? What's up? Greetings
It's
to
all
y'all.
good.
That's what's up. So I'm looking at it, and it says, "What is right for us? Do blacks on X need to upscale ourselves?" So when you say blacks on X, I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking Black Americans. I'm really not thinking about anyone else.
And that's all. That's all I'm talking about. I ain't talking about
Okay.
nobody else, right?
Okay. And then when you say upscale, it translates in my brain like upgrade. Do you think that's equivalent to what
Upgrade
you?
our behavior, upgrade how we think,
Yeah.
and doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, speak. Yeah,
Okay.
do that make sense? Yeah, I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
I'm glad the way you walked it in there. That's very good. I appreciate you doing that.
No problem, because I want to make sure that I'm understanding, we understanding each other. So the answer is yes, in that case. Yes. Black folks on X need to upscale, upgrade, retool, all that. You
How
need to
long
take
you been
them
on these spaces, bro? I only been here 4 months, man, going on 5 months, man.
since 2022.
Oh my God, this thing has been. It has. I come from the professional environment, man. So this thing, I came here and bro, I thought I walked up in the twilight zone and stuff, man. I'm like, what the hell going on up in here and everything. So, and I got a lot of pushback. So tell me in your man, I see you in spaces and everything. You've been around. You've seen what's going on. What's your immediate? You think we need? It's some things we need to upscale it.
We need to upscale. When you get now, if you coming on X just to have some fun, do a little entertainment, shoot the shit, then okay, then let that be that. There's a place, time and place for everything, right? But a lot of times we have serious topics, serious conversations, serious current events that need to be think tanked and acted on and things. And I see a lot of goofing off. I see a lot of now. I'm just gonna stick my comments to the men, because the women gonna have to get together and fix what they got going on. I might
Boy,
make
you did a good split there, bro. Because that's a whole nother conversation, right, bro? I like how you bailed out of that one, bro. That was good.
Hey, I'm gonna let the elder ladies talk to these young ladies and their peers about how to conduct themselves when they are on here speaking on issues for Black Americans.
Yes.
I see like for example, you can't be I see people on here literally promoting rape.
Yes.
They'll get on here and say, "Oh, do this and that to your wife and your daughter." That's what they have said to me.
Yes. I've heard some crazy stuff on here, bro. Yeah.
Because they disagree with me about some point I'm making about Black empowerment or reparations or something like that, and they'll disagree. And then they'll start hollering about who they gonna rape. Another thing, you need to upgrade. Every other word, men, fellas, you can't be out here rape apologize. You can't be promoting rape and then think you raise your fist for black power. No, it don't work like that. Upgrade yourself. You can't come on here and raise your fist for black power and every other word out of your mouth is bitch this, bitch that bitch, my bitch, when you talking about black women. Bitch means a female dog. That's an animal. You calling your own better half an animal in common? Like, they ain't even mad. They just be having common conversations. Hey
I
man,
know.
a
I
lot
know.
of them, a lot of these guys be married with kids in here talking about, man, my bitch do this and that for me. I ain't gonna take that from her. I'm like, damn, do she know? Did your wife know that she's your bitch? Like, did you go home and say, bitch, this chicken good today? Like, damn, bitch, you know, is that what you're doing?
I know.
Is that how you talk to your grandma? You go, damn, grandma,
It's
damn, bitch,
wild,
grandma,
ain't it?
you
It's
did that.
wild, immortal, isn't it, man? It's wild, isn't it?
You a
Like,
bad bitch, grandma. You sure put your toe in that macaroni and cheese this time. It's
Grandma
like it's
still
like
twerking though.
it's like your brain computer is fried. It's got a
right,
bug in it. You can't have that type of internal dialogue going on in your brain. This Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, you teaching me this. You can't have that type of internal dialogue going on in your brain and then think that you're gonna come out do something good for black people. You
what
can't. You
what you
mentally
said
impaired.
is
You
impossible,
mentally
isn't it?
you mentally impaired. Another thing we need to upgrade is our conversation. I notice our conversation is three different levels of conversation I've heard, so I've been told. You can talk about people. That's the lowest level of conversation. We usually get stuck on people. The next level of conversation is events. So that's mid-grade conversation. You're talking about events. And the highest form of conversation that you can be having is you talking about ideas. Whether you think tanking and you all agree, or whether you're debating someone, if you're debating them on ideas, then that's the highest level. So then it doesn't, you don't have to have all that, oh, well, you this and the name calling and all that. No, name call these ideas. Don't
Right.
name call me. Talk about the idea that I expressed and what you don't like about it. Don't talk about me, because I come from old school. I will like I'm I'm not used to how they do this on the internet, because a lot of people will threaten you on here, and I'm here
Yeah, I
in St.
know.
Louis.
I know.
They'll get mad at you and threaten you and your family. And then, but I'm in St. Louis, and I've had people threaten me, and I've had people threaten my family, and I've never had a threat living here from someone around here who didn't mean it.
Right.
So I always took it seriously, and I
Right. Right.
always dealt with it seriously. But
Exactly.
when I come on this app, it's niggas let anything fall out.
Yeah,
See,
they
now
throw
I'm doing. I'm
threats
calling them
around.
niggas.
Immortal. They throw threats around like they in a comedy club and we just
But
having fun. You know what, in brother.
on God, on God. So that kind of stuff needs to be upgraded and all this. And fellas, man, I guess I'm gonna land with this. I see other hands. Look, stop playing all the time. Upgrade yourself to be a serious man sometime. There's nothing wrong with having a sense of humor. There's nothing wrong with liking to have fun, but it's a time to work sometimes. Sometimes it's time to work. You don't go to work where you work at, where you clock in, or if you got your own business, you're not walking into your own business talking to your employees. I'm like, hey, nigga, hey, that bitch over there, you gonna get sued or fired. Okay, so we need to upgrade the way we deal with this subject matter, and get off of this cult of personality type shit that we get into. I'm not here for nobody to like me. Talk to me about my ideas. You want to dislike me because of the ideas I express. Because I ain't did shit to nobody on here. You know what I'm saying? So we need to upgrade that. Upgrade your talk. Upgrade what's coming out in your brain computer. Realize that there are young people listening to you on this app. Realize that it's 16, 17, 18-year-olds on this app. They just be listening. You get a big enough room, about 20% of them going to be under the age of 18.
Right.
That's with a Twitter. And you in there hollering, calling folks names, threatening to
Right.
rape their family, doing all this goofy shit, and then got the nerve to call somebody dusty. And then they got that kind of nerve, and you in here acting dusty. So I could go on, but I'm going to leave it at that. for the sake of
Hey,
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
you, Immortal. Appreciate you coming through, brother. Hey, yeah, the next person. What's up, 1-1?
What's up, follower? What's up?
Man,
I
I feel
am Sugar
honored. You done,
Black. Hey, what's up,
I
Carl?
feel honored. You done dropped in here. Get out of
You're
here.
welcome.
You
I
what's
got
up,
you,
Going
man?
on?
man. I'm gonna retweet you. Man, they're gonna pull up soon, bro. They follow me like roaches. But
Yo, smack, but yeah.
I hope the right ones. I hope the right ones.
Hey, before you
nah,
get,
it's not gonna be the
hey,
right
before
one.
you get
I'm just
started,
gonna let
man.
you know.
Hey, one, before you get started, let my
When
partner
black
go and
people
drop that.
wake up
Go drop our thing.
and
Go ahead, do
become
what you do, my
intellectually
partner.
independent enough.
You there, Joe?
Bro, you can't put me on the spot like that. I keep telling you.
Hey,
You know what
bro.
I mean?
You don't know
You know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
gonna ask you, bro.
I ain't got stuff sitting here right in front of me like that. So you can keep it moving, and we'll move on to the next hand there, and then we'll get it in.
Okay, you ain't ready?
Go ahead, Negro.
No, 1-1.
All right, so first of all, I say good evening to the host, the co-host, the self-follower. I think we met up in different spaces before,
Yes, we
right?
have. Yes, we
So
have.
thank you for allowing me to speak. So thank you guys for it. So, and first of all,
What?
I heard. Go ahead, follow what you
No,
want to
no. I was
say.
just gonna ask you what is the topic? You know the.
Yeah, I came I came up. I like the topic. I be hearing different ideology being passed around and stuff like that, right? And I like the topic. And well, I don't remember who said that topic, right? Saying that immigrants need to be there's any space for you to check as an immigrant, right? And as an immigrant myself, who came from Sierra Leone, right? When you come here, you have to check you're not black. You have to check what country you're from. So I'm just trying to tell you, I'm just trying to tell you as a personal stuff. After checking, like for example, when I apply for colleges, they ask me where you from. Because I asked you, were you born here? You said no, and then when I asked you, you said no. That always disqualify you, and then they ask you where you from. All right, when you're applying for colleges, and now I have to put in exactly where I'm from. So I'm going to say I am a Sierra Leonean, right? And basically, like when I come out, I don't, most immigrants don't take black because first of all, they're not born here, so you can't. Okay, and and also too, right? I heard saying that there's a business that they gave business opportunities to immigrants, right? And I'm gonna tell people out there, right? And this is the biggest people don't understand. s- you guys need to stop thinking that all Africans or immigrants coming here are poor, right? For me, my family don't have that much coming here, but some Africans coming here, they're rich, right? Most of them are coming from a 1% level of society when they come here. So basically, just 1% who come here with enough money, right? They have the ability to open businesses, right? They already have connections, right? They have connections to actually for banks to give them money. And I want people to think as a rational person. Do you think a bank, especially American bank, is going to let an immigrant? My bad. Give me 1 second. So, like I was saying, right? Let's think as a rational person, right? You think an American bank, right? Don't forget, for you to get a $50, you have to go through hoops, right? You think my bad, so bad.
Yeah,
Uh,
where you
my
calling
bad.
from, man? Where you calling from?
The answer
I'm in
to his
Cali.
question is
Now
yes.
I'm in
that's
Cali.
somebody who
But
keeps calling him. It's all good.
yeah, it's
Oh,
my ex,
But the
bro. My
answer,
ex keep
answer
calling
to your
me.
question, you asked, do you think that they're gonna give money to an immigrant? And you about to go into the
No,
details.
yeah, I
And what
got
I'm
you,
telling
right?
you, the answer to
No,
your
hold on a
question
second.
is yes, they do.
Let me finish the thought real quick. My bad. I want you to think about you think a bank who's who's gonna ask for your social security, asking you what income and all this stuff, gonna give a fresh off the boat
Yes,
Africa. Hold on a second. Let me finish my thought. Going to give fresh off the boat African 100 grand, right? Don't forget the guy had no property, has no assets, right? They won't get an African off the boat 100 grand.
yes.
Hold on a second. What is stopping the African for just taking 100 grand and just go back?
Because they don't know
You know what I mean? Let's see as a rational person. If I came
Yeah,
here and American
but
government give me 100K, I would just dig.
but again,
Why?
again,
Why did?
most immigrant community come here with the understanding that this is an economy. This is not a country. This is an economic playing board that they can take their money. Every person outside of America, even if they have business already, they want to get their business going through America. Why? Because they know when it hits America, their business will implode financially.
Who's talking right now?
Because
My bad. Who's talking? My bad.
Yeah,
this is I ain't your black.
My
that's
bad. My bad. My bad. Are you in Cali? Because most of us can go to the bank right now. Because I'm an immigrant. I've been here for a long time. We can go. We can both go to the banks right now. Like I don't know if you're in Cali or you can find anybody in Cali that wants to start a business. Both of us can go to the bank and see if they're gonna give my African ass a loan. We can prove it right now. Find me
No,
any
I'm
black
not. But that's the
American.
thing. We're not talking about, and I don't remember hearing anyone saying that you can come here and get a loan. I know I said earlier that statistically, immigrants come here and within 7 years they have a business, and that's not because of a loan or whatever. That's because their focus for coming to America, for coming to this economy, for coming to this monopoly board, their focus is to come here and create wealth.
Oh
I
yeah,
got
That's
that's
what I'm saying.
that's the American dream to come here, get as much money as you can.
because
But go ahead.
he's
not
referring to me directly. And
not yet, you Negro. Come on, let him land. Let him
Yeah,
land.
but yeah, thank you for clearing that. My bad, because I probably misheard that statement because I was asking because I've been hearing that say because I came up because I came to correct that rhetoric because I think followers know me. You know, I think I've been around this
Yeah,
app,
yeah.
right?
I've been around.
I've been around where I'm hearing this propaganda or this rhetoric. Because thank you for correcting it, saying that they come here and focus on studying wealth, right? Because I've been hearing this propaganda. They're going around saying that immigrants are getting fresh off the boat because you can ask followers as a confirmation where some people pushing this narrative saying that immigrants are getting off the boat, especially Africans, and then they're giving them loans. And I always ask them, bro, if you want to start a business, both of us like that's the type of challenge I keep giving them. I'm in Cali, right? I'm an immigrant. If you want to start a business, I'm here. I'm pro-black, right? You want to start a business, both of us can go down. If your business is very nice, both of us can go to the bank and see if the bank give me a loan, right? They're not going to give
Right.
me a loan. So that's like I'm just trying to clarify it because this is
Yeah,
a
I actually was in
misinformation.
a space with you, and I
Yeah.
heard that
Yeah,
conversation go
it's the
down. Yeah,
misinformation going
yeah.
on that's causing thinking that all immigrants are coming in and once they get up, the U.S. government give them a check, and that's a misinformation. Like it's a very misinformation that's going to cause a lot of drama because most people are going to think that all immigrants coming here in the check, which is false.
And
And
but let me just push back a little bit.
go ahead.
There is a certain immigrants that are able to
Yeah,
come over
white
here.
people.
Yeah, yeah, and I knew you was going to put the color construct on there. Yeah, there is, and I'm going to just say there is a demographics of, and we already know that because I ran into them as well. You know, they can get a credit card with 10. Some of them get $5,000, $10,000 on the credit, and all they did is applied for it. I mean, there ain't many of our black folks can get a credit card $5,000, $10,000, and they coming. So
I mean,
that's
you could
what.
do that as a new college student, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I've never been to
But
college.
but 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 those are white people. For example, I don't know you guys heard about with the Afrikaners, right? Trump literally just gave them a land. People don't understand. People don't understand. Trump literally gave them a land and a contract with the U.S. government for agriculture. And I tell you out there, name me one African, right? An African like African who come here and then the U.S. give him a land and a contract. It's not like let me tell you, these people are giving grants to white people, and people not open their eyes to see it.
Yeah, I see. I see your point. I do know that our government and establishing relationships that goes over that color construct all over again and the thing, and that's some of the things. But I will say that's something that we culturally have to manage and take care of. But we got to get our own affairs in order before we get it. There's a lot of business, a lot of things that's going on that we don't even have a clue about what's going on. What's going on, Negro? I mean, I know, Negro. No,
I'm
Immortal. No. Go ahead. No, Immortal here. Come on after you. Go ahead.
Okay, so some of the things I have a problem with what people are saying, Biden administration, and it started off with the Latinos that had access to loans, grants, and etc. And Joe Biden waived those certain things and those restrictions so that immigrations and immigrants can benefit off of that. So that's the first and foremost. They have what they consider a D3 waiver process, where it makes it easier for foreign-born college graduates and DACA recipients to obtain work visas and eventually potentially green cards. These are the things that are also with the U visas and the various different things that all immigrant groups benefit off of. It is besides colors, all immigrants. So for them to keep pushing this narrative, no, you're not going to tell me how my country run. I don't go to your blank hole nation like what's his name said and tell you how your country run, even though they run it into the ground, right? That's the reason why you're here in the first place. And this is why this is the rhetoric that does need to be checked. This is why I don't really rock with some of y'all baby boomers, because y'all too open for these certain demographics instead of really looking at it and say, hey, you guys are here under false pretense. You guys come over here saying that you're facing some type of crisis. That's not always true. And they do get unearned benefits through food stamps, subsidies. Also, they have access to HUD programs that we don't even have access to. And the reasons why our people are out on the street at 50% and their people are not. All right. So I get very annoyed that you guys give platforms to certain demographics who are not speaking honestly about their intentions when they come over here to America. This is why we need to be calling ICE, period. And I'll go one step further. Like, yeah, I do support the police, the ICE ones. You're right, the ice cream truck. I support them all day, every day. I want them out for lying. I want them out for frauding. I want them out for scamming. Then this guy talked about that, well, we don't click black. Yes, you do. When you apply for the Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship, yes, you are clicking black. When you're applying for certain scholarships and grants that were specifically meant for Black American people, and they can't find a Black American person at the institution because they have their own biases, which is institutional and structural racism. These are things that I've experienced at a graduate level, that I have to pay out all my school debt, and this guy gets all the grants and loans. It doesn't matter if I have a higher GPA. All right. So you're not going to sit here and push this lie that you guys don't, that I don't get no loans. This is a figment of Black Americans' imagination. Negroes are just crazy. No. Then you got the FHA loans that they're eligible for, which if they have been removed from non-permanent residency status, I could go through a list underneath the Biden administration alone in which they have gotten billions and billions of dollars from the United States. So, like, spare the tears. We need to read and know these things like the back of our hand.
All right, Negro. Yeah, remember, these are my guests now. Don't come and be beating up all my guests and everything. You know, have some, you know, just have a little love here now. But I actually,
I got love for my people.
yeah, I know you do. And that's why I rock with you, brother. I love your love for your people. Go ahead, Immortal.
Okay, so a couple of different things. Immigrants, and then he wants to break it down to melanated immigrants. First, I'm going to talk about immigrants in general. Immigrants in general who come over here, whether they come illegally or whether they come legally. Dr. Pamela Denise Long has had many spaces. They've gone over many instances and examples and information that you can go find about how immigrants come over here and all they need is a what's that ID? It's not a social security number. It's like a corporate ID. It's a social security number for a corporation or
like a tax ID.
EIN.
Tax ID.
EIN.
Yeah, EIN. So they come over here and get their EIN, and then they don't have to have anything, damn near anything else. I was in Dr. Denise Long's space one day, and they pulled up an article about a mortgage company who had been giving loans to illegal aliens, any kind of alien. They weren't citizens. And they said they had a portfolio. It was in an article, and they said they had a portfolio of 300 loans. And they call themselves bragging, but they really told on themselves. They said they had a portfolio of like 300 some odd loans. They said maybe 2 or 4 of them was paid off, and the rest of them never had any late payments, never had any foreclosures, never had anything go wrong with the loan. So as soon as they said that, I understood that, okay, you got a lot of illegal immigrants coming over here with a lot of cash from illicit uh, gains. Let's just put it that way.
Right. No, I go ahead. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and they need to wash that money. So what they'll do is come over here and get a loan from one of these companies, and they already got the money. So they're washing the money by getting the loan and then paying the loan back. But now they had this property, and the property is being paid for with drug money. There's no way. I used to be a loan originator. There's no way you can write 300 pieces of loan paper and not in the span of 2 or 3 years, and none of them come up. Nobody died. Nobody lost a job. Nobody got divorced in the home. None of that happened. That's bullshit. So what they got is a racket going.
Yeah.
So that's
It's a
immigrant.
racket. Now, yeah, I see where you at. Now, this is actually the first
So
time I ain't been in this type of thing. I feel
so
you.
that's immigrants in general.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about melanated immigrants. If melanated immigrants were not being allowed into that same type of thing, then the melanated immigrants would be depending on us like they used to in like before 1970. Before 1970, if you was a melanated immigrant, you better go into a black neighborhood and try to get along with them people. Otherwise, it was up and it stuck for you, just like it was for us. But after the 70s, after the changes in the immigration laws, they began to only they did it over time, but only allow certain types of melanated immigrants to come over. Only the ones that had already sold out their own people in their homeland, so they really don't have no problem selling out people here. And like the other person spoke, a lot of them be wealthy, but not all of them. Like somebody else mentioned, they get the food stamps. I ain't never seen a $20,000 food stamp receipt with that's the balance on it. But we been saying this since these immigrants come here. If the melanated immigrants weren't getting the same benefits that the rest of the immigrants were getting, then they would be on our side on reparations. They would be on our side on fighting white
You're
supremacy.
making a very good point there.
They wouldn't be over here talking about, ain't no white supremacy. These good white folks good. They good. That's what you hear from most melanated immigrants. They gonna say ain't no racism. They doing fine and all this. And the last thing that I will show you to illustrate the how the melanated immigrants are moving is just type in anybody. The brother say he from Sierra Leone. Type in the Sierra Leone American organizations for Sierra Leoneans, and you're gonna come with 15 or 20. Type in Haitian American organizations. You're gonna come up with dozens, literally dozens all over the country. And then go into those organizations and start seeing what they're saying. What is their rhetoric? They usually won't use the word black unless they're trying to get black Americans to do something. We're in those organizations, they rarely use the term black unless they're trying to get black Americans to come out and vote for something that'll help their organization or their ethnicity, something like that. Other than that, they're going to stick to, I'm a Haitian American, I'm a Jamaican, or I'm a Igbo American, or a Nigerian American. They're going to stick to that because they don't want the resources that's being poured into those organizations to be confused with us, period. They don't want that. So that's your evidence, and you'll research those organizations and you'll find and follow the money, and then you'll see the Ford Foundation, and you'll see all these different foundations supporting them to subvert us. That's why you can't hardly get a black American actor on TV to play black American historical characters. That's why all you that love the NFL and the NBA will get ready, because you ain't finna have no black Americans in the NFL and in the NBA. That's why they trying to get them in the schools. That's why they want to make sure they get them in the colleges so they can go through that program, get in the NFL. So y'all ain't finna be watching no black Americans play no sports. They tried to do it with boxing too. So
he
I could
ain't
go
lying, boy.
So as far as my mind of the
That was
idea,
solid, Immortal. That was solid. I like that, bro. You
yeah. So as far as those ideas that they not doing it for us melanated immigrants, they not that. Nah, maybe they ain't doing it as much as they do for the white immigrants, but that doesn't stop the melanated immigrants from siding with immigrants in general against the home team population of Black Americans.
mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, because I just sat here and typed in American Organizations for Sierra Leone, and good Lord. And the rhetoric among all of them, mission is to empower communities across. You know what I mean? Like this is wild, actually.
What
There
a
you
And
go.
word.
No,
the only
I
time you
got it.
gonna hear them say
I'm just
Black,
waiting for someone to land the plane, and then
the
I
only
respond.
time you gonna see them organizations mention the word Black is if they want Black Americans to be in solidarity with them with whatever they're doing. Other than that, it's strictly for them, only for us, our communities, us, and then they go to immigrants, and then they go to melanation as far as their loyalties. And that's the way I see it. I appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Go ahead, 1-1.
So first of all, right, um, people saying that they're running here, right? First of all, most of the programs you were talking about for refugees, because I think most people are conflating the two, right? Most African countries are not in wars. Like my country, we're not in a civil war. Okay, I think only Congo, Sudan, and Somalia are in war right now. Only probably 3 to 4 countries are currently in war. I think 3 to 5 countries are in war right now. Right? I think Congo and all the stuff, right? And who come from those areas can apply for refugee status, right? But other people who are not from a war from countries cannot apply for refugee status. So I'm just trying to get people to know between refugees. Those people who are getting all this EBT and stuff like that. They're refugee status, right? Every country has a program for refugee status. But and then also too, right? Because first of all, saying that I heard another false information, because I like to clarify all false information. You can push back on it. I'm gonna speak and then I'll let you speak. That when immigrants come in here, they get a free write off and loans and stuff like that. At this moment, I can actually post my Salamane my Salamane student loan. I owe over $20,000 right now. $20,000. So you saying that we're getting free program, free loan. I really want to really know about that loan, because I need I need my loan to be forgiven. You know what I mean? I see how $20,000 I still have to pay back from student loan, right?
Hey, I know some poor white people that still don't know their privilege.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, right? I didn't, and then Sierra Leone, right? You're talking about organization. If you click on those organization, most of them are focused in the country, right? Basically, they don't care about people overseas. Most of the organizations talking about helping people in Sierra Leone, right? You can find me one that talk about helping immigrants, like giving out loans. You can, because I don't know about them. Maybe I might be a little obtuse about what's going on, right? But you can post it.
Copy what you copied and put it in there for him, Joe.
Hey,
Yeah,
United States Sierra Leonean Association. We
shit.
come together to seek the interests of immigrants in Staten Island and New York, USA. We
Post
organize
it.
cultural, educational, social, and
He
general.
said post
Bro,
it, bro. He said
Yeah,
he.
post it
One
that's
one
giving
one
out. Hold on a
one need to
second.
one need to research before he talk on a subject that he don't know nothing about.
yeah. All you got to
No.
do is Google. Anybody right now, just like I did, can Google American
But you
Organizations
can
for
post.
Sierra
It's so
Leone.
easy to post it though. You already got it on your computer. You can easily post it.
You,
That's what I'm
you that lazy?
saying.
Come on, man. I know
No,
you ain't that lazy.
I'm not being lazy.
You're conflating personal with what your collective is getting. You're conflating what your personal experience with what we Americans see what our government is giving your people. So stop it.
Giving your
And that's
people
why I
for who?
said,
Hold on a
and
second.
that's
You're
why I
giving the
said what I
people for
said,
what?
that we know poor white people that don't understand their privilege. As a collective, as a whole, that privilege is prevalent. But
So
I know some poor white people that don't realize they can, utilize that privilege.
So how many Sierra Leoneans are in here? First of all, I just want people to actually get a.
Just, I guess you.
No, I'm not talking about this, but I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about like in America, right? But before I let you answer that question, right? I've been hearing this. I don't know. I think followers knows about this, right? I've been heard about this. It's just kind of sad that it's coming from other people like us, right? I don't know if y'all heard of the Great Replacement theory. Have
Oh,
anyone heard of the Great Replacement theory?
the great.
Right, follower?
You're talking about the migrating of people that's trying to replace the American descendants of slaves. They got a. You talking about
No,
that?
no, no, no. No, so the Great Replacement theory is a theory from white supremacy who thinking that other beautiful people will come here to replace them, including black people, right? Where you can look it up. We're thinking that black people are here taking a job, that black people are taking out the loans, that black people are getting all this free stuff, right? So like what I'm about to summarize everything, right? The Great Replacement theory is this white fictions that white people thinking that other group who are not white or taking their loans, taking their houses, taking out their benefit, right? And it's kind of fun because I've been controlling. You know me, I've been in different spaces, right? And I'm repeating like I'm a type of person. If you quack like a dog, walk like a dog, it's a stock, right? And I'm hearing the same pattern of the same replacement theory being rhetoric being preached over and
It's
over
called
again.
perfect on the low, bro. Come on
Yeah,
now.
but hold on. I'm gonna land my plane, bro. I'm gonna like once I land my plane, I'm gonna be on mute and I'm gonna let you guys talk. Right? I'm hearing the same great replacement theory, thinking that Africans, right? Don't forget before I actually land my plane, right? From 1965, 1964, I think 1965. That's when most 1965 all the way to 2025. That's been a year of 60 years, right? 60 years gone by, right? There's over 1.5 billion Africans, right? Don't forget, in those 60 years, there's only been less than 5 million Africans, right? There's been a less than 5 million Africans, right? There's way more Asian people here than Africans. There's way more other group of people who are here more than Africans. But hold on a second, followers, right? So the problem, like with the entirety of I'm hearing this ready that they're saying them here to replace y'all, or supposedly, right? Why there's less Africans, right? If the American entire propaganda is to replace certain group of people, why didn't they just allow more of Africans to come here? It's only less than 4 million, right? 4 million. There's been from 2012 all the way to 2025. There's been almost 20 million Europeans immigrants in this country in the span of 13 years. In the span of 60 years, it's been less than 5 million Africans. So my own question I'm going to pose to you guys, if they're here to replace, or we're here to replace, supposedly, unquote, then why did I allow only a selective amount of Africans to come here? Because they could have sent in a lot. And lastly, just to line my point, right? I keep I keep repeating over and over again, and I ask people out there, if it's so easy to be an immigrant, right? I keep having it. I'm not trying to be condescending or anything. If it's so easy to be an immigrant, why don't you just go to Africa, deny your citizenship, right? Because you can easily deny your citizenship, bro. You can go to Africa, deny your citizenship, and come to America and see how easy it is. Because trust me, if there's any way I could be at an easier team, right, where it's so easy for me, bro, I will find a way how to join the easier team. But hold on. But I'm just saying, if it's so easy for me to join the easier team, bro,
you you
I would do
you.
anything.
You know that is very funny. That is a very funny point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but
It is
but
very
but
funny.
I'm just saying.
And
I just
you.
be. But
You clown, as we would say, you
no,
clowning a
no,
little bit
no, no, no,
again.
no,
Okay,
no.
it sounds like
But
your
yeah, yeah.
plane is landing, like your plane has come down.
Yeah, it's calm down. But at the end of the day, white supremacy is everywhere, even in Africa, right? So we understand white supremacy, and don't trust me wrong. I'm not going to be ignorant. So one second, on second. I am not going to be ignorant of the girl, the Negro. Give me 10 seconds.
Right,
Give me
go
10 seconds.
hold up,
Let me
Negro.
second.
Hold up, Negro.
On second, right? Oh my God. On second. All right, let me try that. Right, white supremacy is everywhere, right? I'm not gonna sit here and be ignorant of the fact that there's no coons in my own race. There's coons everywhere, right? And guess what happened? White supremacy use coon people. just clean everywhere. So yeah,
Followers, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
He done land this
Yeah,
plan. Thank you.
there are even some coons on my back porch. They try to get in my trash.
Let's break that
I have
down.
some
Point that
questions.
Okay, who's first? Who first?
Immortal or Negro? Come on, who will go next?
Because, okay, he asked some questions and he brought up some different concepts. He said that you made a comment about refugee status. Okay, most of the illegal immigrants who claim they are refugees, they don't stop at the immigration border and
Right.
sign in and say all that. They just come across the border. Period. That's it. Done. I'm over here now. That's their refugee status.
Catch me if you can find me, right?
They don't go to court. They don't. They just come here, set up shop. They know that there are political operatives and organizations that will set them up on shop, just like they was a regular United States citizen. They got states that will give you licenses, and once you have a driver's license, in most states you can vote. So
Man,
now
did you hear about speaking of that, Matt? I didn't even know this. I just was in the news. They caught a person, they were getting $200 a wop giving illegal immigrants driving license, man.
yeah, yeah. And
That was
not only that, they just caught some cops. I think it was in Louisiana. There was some immigrant man, and the scam was if you're over here, just pretend like you got caught up in a crime, and they got some crooked police that was filing the police reports for them so that they can file a special form for their family to come over from overseas. So if you're a non-citizen and you get harmed over here through crime, then there's a method by where you can fill out some documents and have your family come over here to support you while you seek justice for the crimes against you.
I read
Are
about that
you
one.
serious?
Those are
Hey,
Europeans.
sir, I didn't.
I read
Hey,
about it.
chill out, one. Chill out. Just chill out. Because you ask questions and keep talking, and that's not how you have a conversation. You see, I ain't ask you no questions. I'm telling you things, so you don't have to. If I interrupt you because you asked a question, and you should always, if you ask a question, look for an answer. Don't just keep talking. Look for your answer. Get your answers. So let's keep going. So that part, I really don't identify with all the immigration status. See, this when these people get this. No, you all just bum rush the border. When Biden was in, you just bum rush the border, came over, and started living loans, especially for you. Special organizations, it's in the blue pill. I asked Grok to name a few. I think got some in St. Louis, and the host put in the comments where he found it was only 34,000 Sierra Leoneans in the United States, and I just found at least 4 organizations in several different states that cater specifically to their needs and things of that nature. So that part doesn't fly. He said so much, but it's hard to
Yeah.
have dialogue when you ask questions, then you keep going. Then somebody try to answer, no, let me keep going. And then you keep going, then you change the subject. So that's the
Well,
part I could catch.
well,
Yeah, man.
listen up, fellas. You know, we're gonna call this. One of the things that I do with my shows and everything. You know, is to remind you you are part of the I Ain't Your Black podcast, and one of the things we do, we come strong. We come to be safe, but we don't try to stay long. Okay, so one of my biggest things, some of these spaces, man, they can be here for 4, 5. I'm not that guy. Okay, I'm not that guy. I won't. I don't. I don't. I. It's never my intent to stay longer than 3 hours. We've been doing on 2 hours, and so what I like to do, and back, I want to, round it back to the topic here, and I want to get each and every one because it's been good. I've been listening to y'all. I love this type of conversation, like this kind of dialogue. And maybe Joe, before y'all get started, Joe, you good now? You wanna
We
do
can go ahead and reset the room right
going
now because it is Mr. Just Ask Joe and Uncle Me showing in I Ain't Your Black. This is the podcast that offers healings, insights, and epiphanies, discussing and reviewing everything others are afraid to talk about. It's all about what is right for us. I ain't your new black. I ain't your old black. I ain't your future black America. I ain't your black. And once again, it is Mr. Just Ask Joe and Uncle Me, Sean. Let's get it in.
Yeah, all right. I want to thank you all for showing up here. Well, we're going to go ahead and do, to the topic, what is right for us. And do blacks on X need to upscale ourselves? I see Praymore is here as well. We done had a couple females come through here and give their input and everything. It's to the
Get
topic, and
ready
then
for
as y'all closing
I
out, we're gonna
Ain't
close this
Your
thing out.
Black.
And
This is the podcast that offers
so
healing,
anyone who wants to
insights,
come
and
up and
epiphanies.
to the
Discussing
topic
and
and say
reviewing
something
everything
about what you
others
done
are
heard and
afraid to talk
everything,
about.
and
It's all about
give your
what
input
is
and
right
everything. So
for
let's go. Who
us.
wanna who wanna
I ain't
start?
your
Who
new
wanna
black.
start?
I ain't your
I'll be
old black.
short, man.
I
I
ain't
think
your future
I'll be
black.
real short.
America.
See how you moving? See you
I
moving the
ain't
goalposts, brother.
your
Follow. You owe me an
black.
apology
And
because I'm
now,
going hard
the
on these
host of
immigrants
I
right
Hey,
now.
Ain't Your
hey, you got to
Black,
remember
Mr.
what I
Just
told
Ask
you now.
Joe
Hey,
and Uncle Me
this is
We got him.
safe space. Okay, we ain't come on here all that now. We gonna keep a safe space. All right, so
Wait.
remember that. Remember that. So you want to go ahead and start?
No. I stated facts that were true. I
Yeah,
was
boy.
talking about the condition of what we're going through. This guy was able to fly around the world and gas up multiple pit stops with no interruptions. This is what I talk about the cultural integrity for our people. We need to treat our people better on this app. Even if you might not like the position in which this person may be coming from, you should completely hear that brother or sister out unconditionally, like you do these immigrants. Treat me like an immigrant in these spaces. That's what I'm talking about here.
But
Because
did
I told
we?
some of y'all,
Did we talk? What? No, what? Now? Did we stop you from not speaking your truth?
brother, you're about to skip me. Come on now, followers.
Did
Come
we
on.
stop you from speaking
And
your
then you
truth?
say that I'm out here beating up immigrants like I'm physically.
No. No. My
Come on
point
now.
is, my
But he
point
out
is,
here
my point is
lying
that
and really,
let it be a conversation that we can all be in it. You don't have to. You don't. My thing is, I see on these spaces, we don't have to demonize. We don't have to put down. We can have a conversation. Speak your truth, okay? Let others speak their truth and everything, but we don't have to name call. We don't have to demonize. We don't have to jump on people, man. We can be grown
who's
people
always
and
jumping,
communicate. That's all. That's all I ask.
calling out the untruth or the false statements, false witnessing, and he's lying on this country and he's lying on the people in this country should not be tolerated. It should
Hey,
be
hey, hey. But
um,
what? But we.
and,
But what?
and this is what I mean by cultural integrity and respect for ourselves and our community. We have
eh,
none. We
And
have
that's
none.
what you. And that's what you here for. I mean, I don't listen up. You're doing a good job. I'm not mad at you, brother. So go ahead and speak your truth. I'm not mad at you. Just do you. I mean, I don't have to do it. Joe don't have to do it. We got Negro, okay, and you do a good job. You good. You are part of this family here, brother. So do you, man?
I
Don't.
don't want to. So a part of the cultural integrity thing when we having black topics, we honestly need to keep it with a Black American what they call it panel, Black people who are at the helm of the conversation, not other demographics that's going to wedge their niche issues and concerns with the intentions of demonizing the lineage based collective community. Like, I get
Uh,
offended very easily that people who benefited off of the rights and the sacrifices that our people have made, they want to like turn their nose like they have a choice to do that. All right. But they wouldn't do that in their home country. That's why they fled over here. And we have to really be honest and be and have cultural integrity when it comes to dealing with other groups. We need to put ourselves first over these other demographics, hands down.
Absolutely.
And if we're not doing that, then I feel we're doing are doing our community a disservice.
And with that, I agree with everything you just said. You know what? You have the right to say that, and I expect you to say that because that's what you do. I mean, if you did it, if you would be anything else other than who you are, I would call you suspect. So yeah, you do you, brother. I love you for being who you are. Remember, I showed you love when everybody else was trying to treat you because I saw the value in you. I came to you. So remember that, all right? I came to you when everybody else was trying to treat you a certain way and everything. So let's go ahead. Let's go to the hands. Who's next?
If you don't mind, I'll just real quick. The title. One of the things we need to upscale or upgrade is ourselves. That's the operative word in the title to me, in my mind. The most important word in there was ourselves. So
Amen.
we need to learn how to focus. Focus. Something like when you at basketball practice, don't go in there telling true facts about baseball. You I'm looking at you like, okay, well, that's true, but we finished to learn how to shoot these free throws right now. This ain't got nothing to do with stealing bases, okay? So we gotta upgrade ourselves by learning how to focus on the matters at hand. Focus, focus, focus. Also, as far as I wanted to speak on upgrading delineation. Delineation needs to be upgraded. It's in the pits right now where Black America.
Oh man, what you said?
It's in the garbage. Yeah, garbage. It's hot garbage. You took we as a collective, as those who want to delineate, have taken that subject and turned it into hot garbage, even to the point where we can't stand one another. You got this alphabet against this alphabet. This alphabet don't like this alphabet, and we're splintered all the way down to it's ineffective. You can't have FBA, ADOS, then you got freedmen, then you got Negroes, then you got indigenous, then you got Solani, then you got the ones that just call themselves Black Americans, then you got the ones that and everybody's arguing with everybody, and delineation is going into the trash.
It's going
It's
into the
going
wash,
into
ain't it? Yeah.
so
Bro, you right on point on that,
we need
Immortal.
to upgrade our behavior towards one another, be more not just be more I don't know how to say it. I don't want to say
Civil. Be civil with one another,
towards
man.
civil
Yeah,
towards one another.
civil obedience. We talk about some
I mean,
civil
is the
obedience.
word respectful?
And
Respectful? Can
Respectful,
we
yeah,
go there?
respectful. Yeah,
And for
respect.
the fellas, let's just upgrade how we talk about our women on these white supremacist airwaves. It's a time and place for everything.
On
Locker room
any airwaves.
On any airwave, shoot.
airwaves. It's time for if it's time for locker room talk, you go in the locker room. When it's time for empowerment talk, you talk that, and you don't go out here calling our women all kind of names, all kind of this and that as a casual conversation. These guys don't even be mad. They just be just like women as bitches and this and that. So we gotta upgrade that, upscale that. So I appreciate y'all letting me speak.
Hey, I appreciate you coming in there. Go ahead, 1-1.
Yeah, so man, I about to dip soon. But first, I want to thank you guys, the host, the co-host, the two co-hosts, and also too, because I want to bring out the facts, right? Because I always say people out there, any immigrants or melanin people willing to go to your space to have a conversation is people open minded. Because those Africans who don't want to have open mind, who don't want to even want to come discuss any issues, they won't even come. They will just stay. They will just stay in their own spaces and have their own rocket chamber, right? And also too, right? Just to bring stuff, right? I have been in because I know follower know me, right? I've been in different spaces, and I've actually watched how people interact with different races of people, right? I've been in spaces where some of these people, I ain't gonna call name, right, interact with white people, and interact with white people, and we see how their tone, the tonality, and the language towards white people are way more how I'm
Mm,
saying, right?
mm.
I hope it don't sound right.
I know what you're talking about. I've
Yeah,
been there. I know exactly. Yeah, I
you know what I mean, right?
yeah, yeah.
The tonality and
Right?
the words, right? The word of choice is way more less. They usually use less derogatory, less condescending words, or they don't even use any bad words towards people
Yeah, when they're
who
in the space, I know.
when in
I know.
space. Yeah, because I'm calling it out because I know phone you being right. The moment the the moment I have like that's the problem. That's why like sometimes I feel I'm not even having a
Like, what are
conversation.
you
But
talking
hold
about?
on.
Because that ain't me, homie. So
On second.
Hey,
On second.
Negro, stay
No,
off.
wait a second.
It's Negro,
Right.
stay on your
Them cats
mic.
be worried about their credit getting even worse. That's why they act
but
right in them spaces.
yeah, but you like hold on a second.
So I don't know what you're talking
Let me
Let,
finish.
let him do what he do, Negro.
I know people are gonna get. I understand, but I said right. The problem, like I was saying, right, just to continue my my stuff, right. I've been in spaces where they allow white people, like they even invite white people to have a long conversation without interruption, without calling them names, right? And don't forget, I mean a lot of all of these people who have the three-letter names and whatever name they call themselves, they sit amongst it. Some of them make even white people co-host, right? And they sit amongst them and have a normal conversation without calling them no type of names. But the moment an African or a Caribbean pick up the mic, they will get off the mic and start saying, "You're not welcome here. You're not us. You're not this start saying you fled and all this type of demeaning names, right? Once an African get off the mic, they're gonna start saying that why you fled and start using all these white supremacy tropes, right? But the point, they will let a white person have a fully conversation with them. And I know you followers, you like you've been around this app, and you see that type of interaction.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, and then it is kind of funny. That's why most of us felt like we're the one getting attacked, because what happened, because the sensationality and actions and so much hatred you have, it's not directed to another group of people who are not even black.
about.
So
Just now on the phone, like, come on, we need to check his tone when talking about Negroes and Black folks. I'm not feeling the
Hey,
disrespect in a
hey,
Black American space now.
there you
hey,
go,
hey,
there you
hey,
go.
hey, hey, Negro. This is the chill, Negro. Please chill. Go ahead, and land, brother.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I just want people to just watch how the interaction is, right? I'm willing to come here, pick up a mic, and be very respectful. Did I ever disrespect any, like, followers? You know me, I don't disrespect people in spaces unless they start being disrespectful. I'm
Right?
very cordial,
Yeah,
and I try to have more of an intellectual conversation. If I'm wrong, I always admit that I'm wrong. Like you know me in
yeah,
spaces,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I bet you've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm very, very, very stuff. But the problem, like, they have a blanket rhetoric of blanket hatred, that they judge all Africans who trying to have a normal conversation, right? I come here trying to have a normal. I only pick up the mic, right? Trust me, because I've been on this room. Like, this is my fourth time on this room. I've never picked up on that mic, right? I only came up just to add to that conversation about immigrants getting loans, right? That was the only time I came in here. I've been here 5 times. You guys having conversation about black issue. I never actually pick up the mic because I know
right.
some conversations are not for me, right? It's like there's so many places I just go and listen, because sometimes it's better to listen than to actually respond, right? And this will, as I understand you guys' plight. That's why I go in spaces. Not sometimes I pick up mics, but sometimes I don't. I just go there and listen and make sure I'm able to educate myself on topics and situation that I don't know about. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the whole point. I'm trying to educate myself. I don't want to be ignorant and disregard the plights of other people and be like, oh, I don't go through that. That's why I always try to listen and understand the plights of other people. I don't go here and judge people. That's why I only add to conversation. I don't try to judge anybody, but I just want to point it out, folks, and you can agree with me that the same type of animosity they have towards melanin people, they don't have that towards white people. Some people don't. So I'm
No,
gonna land my plane. But thank you for letting me speak, because I think
hey,
it's gonna be a crazy attack, and I don't want to
no,
derail
no,
your
no.
space.
I
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
you. I appreciate you being here, and you're always welcome and everything. You can bring your input and everything. Anybody else who's not spoken before Carl and Joe closes out and everything, Mr.
Can I talk
Miles,
about delineation? That's all I want to do. I
you
want
want
to
to
make
do? You want to what?
what Mortal said about delineation, about it being in the trash. Because I got that book, Delineationology. I definitely want to address that, not in a negative way, but just to highlight some points about delineation.
Oh, about the delineation being in the trash. Well, you do know that we will be here tomorrow.
I'll
Okay.
be real brief, followers. Jeez,
Yeah,
man.
we will be here tomorrow. We got Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays and everything. So I wanna. I don't want to go into the delete because I know you.
Oh, no, I'll
Okay.
be real brief. It's
All
nothing.
right. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go.
so my thoughts on it is this: delineation to a certain extent could be in the trash and it could be revived, because it's coming more from a xenophobic space instead of a criminality space, and the criminality in which these immigrants bring to our community that has harmed us and aggrieved us. That is the reason why I wrote the book Delineationology. I didn't want people to come off and say that we are a hate group when we're calling out the criminal behavior in which these immigrants are operating in our communities. We have a right to have safe communities. We have a right to protect our communities. That's our God given right that has been trampled upon because nobody respects the rights of a Negro. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Hey, tell everybody about your book, where they can get a copy of your book.
Oh yeah, yeah. Holler at me, Book Barnes, or you can holler at me directly from PDF and actually get a book called Delineationology: The Science of Delineation for the American Negro or for the Negro American. This is a very great book that we should be reading and understanding about the criminality in which these various different immigrants bring to our communities. So one, that we can be aware. Two, that we can combat it. And three, we can actually hold our legislations and our politicians accountable when they support immigration that is unchecked in America. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Yeah, and with that being said, this Uncle Me Sean, author, I'm Not Your Black, America, is you can get that book at time to unlearn to relearn at .com, time to unlearn to relearn.com. And I got my new book going to be dropping Christmas holiday season or Christmas holiday. I am Messiah. So, on these spaces and everything, we try to keep things safe, intelligent, but not long, but try to keep it real. So, Carl, you want to go ahead and then Joe? Carl, you there? All right. Joe, are you there?
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, it's been a great space. You know, a lot of this really makes me wonder more about what Dr. King's position would be in this moment in time. Have we achieved the dream, or are we? I mean, we know in the end times he was like, yo, I think I led my people to a burning, building, right? So we get the difference in thinking there. But I just wonder sometimes what it would look like if Dr. King was Dr. King today, or would he be sitting there like, yo, if you got melanin skin, we all coming under one roof, and we gonna fight the oppressive behavior in this country together, which makes us a majority together.
Mm.
But that's a topic for a whole other day, another conversation. Either way, it has been fantastic. It's yours truly, Mr. Just Ask Joe. You can check us out. Remember, you got Facebook, you got YouTube. This show is being streamed live to those places as well. Sometimes on Instagram as well. But definitely check us out on YouTube on I Ain't Your Black. Mr. Just Ask Joe and Uncle Me Sean. We will see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m., same place, same time. Peace.
Get ready for I Ain't Your Black. This is the podcast that offers healing, insights, and epiphanies. Discussing and reviewing everything others are afraid to talk about. It's all about what is right for us. I ain't your new black. I ain't your old black. I ain't your future black. America! I ain't your black. And now, the hosts of I Ain't Your Black, Mr. Just As Joe and Uncle Mishore.
They got me like, man, you love intro.